Before we get into the review, I'd like to introduce you to our special guest, Miles Morales. Hey. Anyways, let's get on with the review, shall we? We have been waiting for this movie for 4 years. And the wait for this movie was worth it. Totally worth it. Pretty good, right? It was more than good. It was magic. This is probably the best movie of the year. So far, at least. At first, I thought the Spot was a lame villain. But then later on, he's starting to become a better villain. Actually, I thought the Spot was a very interesting villain. He had a pretty interesting backstory, too. Speaking of backstory, I did like how they showed more of Gwen Stacy's backstory when her best friend Peter Parker died. The entire opening of this movie almost made me think that Gwen Stacy was going to be the main character. I don't know why, but it did. When it comes to new characters, I really loved Miguel O'Hara, aka the Spider-Man from 2099, who is of course the leader of the Spider Society. He was such a cool character. As well as that, there's also Jessica Drew. She was a pretty likable character. I do agree, although one problem I have with her is that she's fighting crime while she's pregnant. Isn't that considered dangerous for an unborn child? If I can remember correctly, yeah, it is. And I also like that we get to introduce some more spider people, like Spider-Punk, Scarlet Spider, and that Indian spider guy. I forgot his name. You guys comment down below if you remember his name, because we certainly do not. It was also nice to see Peter B. Parker return, although I didn't really like that he didn't show up until almost the end of the film. That was kind of disappointing if you ask me. As for people like Spider-Man Noir and Penny Parker and Spider-Ham, they only appeared in a cameo appearance. Well, Penny Parker got 2 actually, but still, they definitely should have been one of the main characters in this film. Speaking of cameos, there were a lot of awesome cameos in this movie. You have no idea how many there are.
Oh yeah, I especially loved the cameo appearance of the PS4 Spider-Man from 2018, with Yuri Lowenthal reprising his role.
And also, Donald Glover returned as Aaron Davis in this movie, who is the MCU's Aaron Davis, by the way, and he became the Prowler in this movie. So I wonder when he will become the Prowler in future MCU films. And I also really love the cameo of Spectacular Spider-Man. I love that show. Please give me the 3rd season. And there was also Spider-Man Unlimited, which by the way was a show that ended on a cliffhanger and never got a 2nd season. And there was also an archive footage of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man mourning the loss of Captain Stacy from the first The Amazing Spider-Man movie. That was nice to see. And if you closely look at the background of the scene after Andrew Garfield's cameo, you can see an archive footage of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And also, Mrs. Chen from the Venom movies, she even made a cameo in this movie. And as well as that, I know he's not in the movie, but Miguel O'Hara also mentioned Doctor Strange from Earth 1999, who is, by the way, the MCU Doctor Strange. And I also believe that Ultimate Spider-Man showed up in the background of the scene
where Gwen was banished from the Spider Society.
And I also really love the cameo of Lego Spider-Man. And by that scene alone, that makes me wonder, will they ever do a Lego Spider-Man movie? I would pay money to see that. I also, as well, definitely love the cliffhanger. Because at the end of the movie, I got trapped into some kind of alternate version of my dimension, which is called Earth 42, I believe. Which is the dimension where my father was already dead. And the Earth 42 version of me was the Prowler, not Uncle Aaron. That makes me wonder, who is going to be the main villain in Beyond the Spider-Verse? Is it going to be that alternate version of Miles? Or is it still going to be the Spot? I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm going to rate this movie a 9.5 out of 10. And now, let's find out what movie we're going to review next. The next movie we'll be reviewing is John Wick Chapter 2.
Another John Wick film? Already? I'm fine with it.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. But if you like this channel, please subscribe. See you next time.